Man, as more details come out, we'll talk about it more and more. But now it's time to get to Thursday night football game. Pittsburgh Steelers lose to the Cleveland Browns by a score of 17-29. Pittsburgh looked good offensively in the first half, but in the second half they just couldn't get it done. I'll let you take it away from here, Chubbs. What are your thoughts on the game and the Steelers and the Browns? What are your thoughts there, since you're a Ravens fan and this is your division?
Y'all suck. That's my real big take. Y'all are not that good. Your offensive line is, in my eyes, terrible. But I'll be nice. They're
Myles Garrett had no sacks.
They're overrated. Even if they were highly talked, but they're not very good. Mitch Trubisky is probably the fifth best quarterback in the AFC North. One bright spot though, your receivers. I like your receivers. They get open. They just don't get the ball where it needs to be all the time, but they do get open. And I'm sorry. I know I'm talking strictly on Steelers right now, but I know that TJ Watt was out, and he is a big, big part of that defense. But you got one of the highest paid defenses in the league, right? The highest
paid defense.
I know it's a very important one, but one guy missing should not be that big of a drop-off. It shouldn't make that big of a difference. I know you're probably missing a couple sacks here and there, some probably big third down stops, but that doesn't excuse your run defense, because your run defense was atrocious. Nick Chubb had a day. Jacoby Brissett was getting passes off, making big plays. Amari Cooper was looking good. Your DBs are looking suspect. Honestly, the only DB I like on your team that I respect is Minka. Don't respect any other one on that team. I don't know. I think you're gonna see a lot of this, Wayne. I mean, I'm sorry to talk bad about your Steelers, but I'm not really sorry at the same time. But you're gonna see a lot of that all year. You're gonna be in dog fights. You guys are gonna be a hard time to score. It's gonna be like that, in my opinion. Because if that offensive line isn't making that push, isn't protecting the whole, consistently, that run game's not gonna be there for Najee. So then that is the biggest, brightest part of your offense is Najee. And I think you can agree with that. If he's not going, you're going to have a long day for that offense. But I don't know. I already told you, everybody, I already told Wayne, I told people prior, our friends, I don't think this team's making the playoffs. I think they're going to be below 500 for the first time in Mike Tomlin's career. It's just, this is a rebuild year for them. It's a rebuild year. We knew this in August when they drafted a quarterback first for their first pick that should have went in the third round for them. So I don't know. But one bright part is the AFC North isn't that impressive right now. I mean, I'll even say that for the Ravens. The Ravens, I think, out of all the teams, are the brightest out of them. I mean, offensively speaking, I can't speak defensively. But AFC North is kind of still open. So I will give that little tidbit. A little glimmer of hope for you Steeler fans. But it's very dim. It's very dim right now. But I'm done. You go.
Okay. Steeler Nation. Listen to me. Steeler Nation. Do not panic. Do not be afraid. Do not be worried.
Okay, Eminem.
People say we should be 0-3. But the fact of the matter is we won against the Bengals. The Bengals should have never been in that game. So we should have easily won that game. That's a fact. People are like, oh, you guys should have lost. No, we had 7 sacks and 5 takeaways. Should have easily won the game. That's one. 2, week 2, we lost because of a muff punt. That's the reason why we lost the game. We muffed a punt at our 15-yard line, and they got a touchdown. That's what happened. We were getting the momentum in the game. We scored a touchdown, then we got another stop, and that's what happened. This week, Chubbs is right. We couldn't stop the run. Couldn't stop the run We had a hell of a game plan. Our receivers got open in the first half, but in the second half, we couldn't get open. Offensive line held Myles Garrett, the one that everyone compares to T.J. Watt and Aaron Donald, to 0 sacks. He had 0 impact on that game. So that's a bright spot for this offensive line. This offense scored 2 touchdowns in the 2 games prior. They scored 2 touchdowns in this game. T.J. Watt missing is a big deal. Chubbs is trying to downplay it. Yes, we have the most expensive defense in football. But majority of that money comes from T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, and Minka Fitzpatrick, who are respectively all pros. Respectively. All pro talents. And one talent in T.J. Watt, who is, you may say, generational. You may say that, right? What this offense is missing, Mitch is not playing bad. Matt Canada play calling is playing bad. Offensive line not being able to run the ball is playing bad. That is what is wrong. But we still ran the ball quite effectively last game, 4.7 yards per carry. I can deal with that. They had more push than they had in the first 2 games versus a better defensive line than the defensive lines we played in the first 2 games. So this team is slowly making improvements and slowly making adjustments. The next adjustment we need to make is throwing the ball in the middle of the field. We can't throw the ball on the outside on the short routes all the time. We need to get some crosser routes because what happened in the second half was they played cover 2 man, so they had 2 safeties over top and everybody manned up. So you couldn't throw those long bombs that we were doing in the first half because they knew they were getting beat and they didn't want to get beat. So now that's when we have to run some deep crossers, start to run some digs. Matt Canada has to step up and make better play calls. The internet was going into frenzy over the pass to George Pickens because they said Chase Claypool was open. That's who we should have thrown into. Listen to me, you idiots that don't know ball. Dwayne is here to teach you guys ball. If a quarterback is rolling to his right, if his name is not Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, or Tom Brady, I do not want him crossing his body and throwing a ball to the middle of the field. I do not want him doing it. If he's not Justin Herbert, not Aaron Rodgers, not Patrick Mahomes, I do not want my quarterback doing that. He's not the elite of the elite. We can't have him doing that. So to pick out that play and all the plays for Mitch, he missed that. He still threw a bomb, threw a great catch. Deontay Johnson dropped 2 bombs as well. He has to do a better job with that. He has to do a better job when he catches the freaking ball and jump cutting backwards to try and make a play and losing yardage. He did that one time and he made it from a 3rd and 3 to a 3rd and 5. He tried to jump back and make a play, then had nowhere to go and jumped out of bounds. This offense has to help Mitch as much as Mitch has to help this offense. Kenny Pickett is not going to solve any problems if Matt Canada is not calling the right play calls. The only thing I can say Mitch is doing wrong is he's playing too timid. You saw this game, he played a little bit looser and was able to get some things done in the first half. But then he went back to his timid ways in the second half. He is not confident. And this, remember, Chubbs, what did I say on draft night? And remember what I said about Mitch. I said, if they draft a quarterback about Mitch, Mitch is not going to play good because they know.
I remember what you said before that, too.
No. All right.
No. Say it. If the Steelers drafted a quarterback round 1, what was the Steelers' season going to be? What did you say?
That wasn't going to be. I didn't say it was. I didn't. Think
You said we are not making playoffs. It was going to be a long season.
I said that. And why did I say that, Chubbs? I said what? I said if you pick Mitch to be your current quarterback, you should have stick with Mitch as being your starting quarterback. That way you have the confidence in him. He knows if you draft a quarterback in the first round, you don't have confidence in him.
And he don't got confidence in himself right now. I honestly don't like Mitch throw. Mitch does not like throw. I mean, I get you want him to throw over the middle more. I don't think he likes doing that because I don't think his thing is I don't want to throw a pick.
My point exactly. He's playing not to make mistakes instead of playing to win the game. He's playing not to make mistakes instead of playing to win the game because he's like, there's a rookie quarterback behind me that people in our first home game,
the whole city of Pittsburgh, the whole city of Pittsburgh is screaming, Kenny.
Yeah. Like that, to me, that's just a piss poor job by our fans. Like, Mike Tomlin's not going to do that.
Big Ben was on, I forgot what radio show he was on this week, but he talked about it. He was on somebody's radio show, podcast, and was like, he basically said Mitch was doomed as soon as Steelers drafted Kenny as their quarterback. He was the Pittsburgh guy already. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
he was
all off season. That's the talk. Oh yeah, we got Mitch. Before they made all that posts, Mr. Trubisky is a guy in Pittsburgh. If they would have just all right, I just got to beat Mason Rudolph off. Oh, I beat him off. I know I don't have to worry about anything at all. But now you have to worry about this rookie guy coming in and a quarterback that already was the number 2 pick in the draft, didn't get re-signed by his team, had to go be a backup. His confidence is not at the right level. He was the number 2 pick in his draft.
I think he was a number. I thought he was the number 2 quarterback selected in front of Patty.
He got picked. He got picked before Deshaun and Patrick Mahomes. He was. Myles Garrett was the first pick. They said on Thursday. Myles Garrett was the first pick, and Mitch was the second pick in that draft.
Uh-huh.
So once they did that, they sued that they didn't have confidence in him, and they ruined him. And that's all that the Pittsburgh Steelers put themselves in this position to have a non-confident quarterback in. Ryan Clark even said this on ESPN, and Stephen A was like, he doesn't look like he have confidence. And the reason is because you got that other guy behind you that you have to worry about. So I know a lot of people are trolling me on Twitter, going back and forth. You said Mitch was going to be the best quarterback in the AFC North. I said all of this prior to the Kenny Pickett draft. Once the Kenny Pickett draft happened, I said anything I said about Mitch before, it's out of the window because his confidence is shot. It is gone. If they would have drafted Kenny in the 3rd round, he would have felt a lot better. But you had the Pittsburgh guy who's at the University of Pittsburgh, was the second in the third in Heisman voting as their first draft pick. Like, what does that say?
And he played 6 years, so he had his Revis year at Pittsburgh. Yeah. So, he was there for 6 years. So.
The city already loves him, and now they even love him more because he's a Steeler. It's like when Le'Veon Bell and James Harden got there.
When he got drafted, his jersey became one of the highest selling jerseys.
Yeah,
in the NFL. Yeah.
So yeah. Again, but don't panic, Steeler Nation. Kenny is not the solution. I just need Mitch to get more confident. If we're gonna start Kenny, it has to be after the bye week. Just wait until the bye week, after the bye week.
I agree.
That way he could get more reps with the ones during the bye week. Do that. I don't think it's gonna come to that. I think Mitch is gonna stay there for the season. I think our next game, Mitch is gonna have a great game against the Jets.
Well, if you guys I'm not big on y'all because you guys been having dog fights. I know some certain things.
That's Pittsburgh Steelers football.
Didn't go your way.
I saw us win 8 games with.
I really believe the Jets are going to give y'all's problems this week.
I think every team is going to give us problems.
I think Joe Flacco's going to have a big game.
No, that's not happening.
I'm just saying, don't be surprised if he comes out and throws.
I think Joe Flacco throws 2 picks, one of them being to me.
We'll see. I think Garrett Wilson balls. He's been sprouting.
He might ball, yeah. But I was more disappointed in our defense leaving David Njoku go off. That's the shit that.
Yeah, he balled. I need to start him in fantasy and not Kyle Pitts.
More than anything else, I disrespecting Kyle Pitts. Bro.
He got me 2.9 and 1.9 the past 2 weeks. So until he gets me a consistent 10, I do not want to hear no top 5 BS.
What you talking about? He's literally a top 5 tight end.
He might be a top 5, but he's not top 5 in fantasy for damn sure.
Hey. All right, man. Let's get into it. Let's now that we're out of there, let's go ahead and talk about our Week 2 predictions. So we're gonna go through each game. I think DL sent us his list. I don't know if he put them in the pick'em. Did he put them in the pick'em?
No, he said he did.
Let me see if he put them in the pick'em. Let me see. No, he did not pick any picks.
So him snapping back at me about the comment I made saying he already had it in there. He didn't. So